immediate consciousness expansion hypnosis. It's totally free.
Right. All right. Sounds good. You miss doing your hypnoses?
Well, I got this new book and I'm reading it on YouTube Live. It's called Metaphysical Meditations by Paramahansa Yogananda, and it's basically a hypnosis book, and it's like free consciousness expansion if you want to hear it. But I'm also going to call Brian Sellers. Do you know Brian? You know Brian, right?
No. Who's that?
He's a Purple Heart veteran that I met on Instagram and brought to Clubhouse, and his account has been he has two accounts. They both got nixed.
Nixon.
But he's live streaming himself on YouTube now, and I tried to join his YouTube live yesterday, and he went bananas, and then I just clicked away. So
Let's
we're
see.
we're gonna three way, um, and I'm gonna offer you this free reading if you want to hear it. It's very quick and very powerful.
All right.
Okay, let me call Brian.
Sounds good.
Okay, just hold on. I'm gonna merge the calls. Hey, Brian.
What's up?
Hey, you're on a recorded line with Zach Della Ruta. We're doing a 100% free consciousness expansion hypnosis.
Do I have to be?
No, but I was telling Zach that we met on Instagram Live because I was reading Marcus Aurelius, and now I have a different book which is even faster. This is this is the fastest consciousness expansion hypnosis I've ever read. So I'm calling you to give you a free 60-second consciousness expansion if you want it.
Go for it. 60 seconds on down.
Okay, it's called I Am in All Places. I am beholding through the eyes of all. I am working through all hands. I am walking through all feet. The brown, white, olive, yellow, red, and black bodies are all mine. I am thinking with the minds of all. I am dreaming through all dreams. I am feeling through all feelings. The flowers of joy blooming on all heart tracks are mine. I am eternal laughter. My smiles are dancing through all faces. I am the waves of enthusiasm in all God-tuned hearts. I am the wind of wisdom that dries the sighs and sorrows of all humanity. I am the silent joy of life moving through all beings. Heavenly Father, teach me to find freedom in Thee, that I may know nothing on earth belongs to me. All belongs only to Thee. Teach me to know my home is Thine omnipresence. O cosmic silence, I hear Thy voice through the murmur of brooks, the song of nightingale, the sounding of conch shells, the beat of ocean waves, and the hum of vibrations. Beloved God, no more with words, but with the burning flame of my heart's love I worship Thee. Teach me to behold Thy vastness, Thy changelessness behind all things, that I may perceive myself as a part of Thy changeless being. O mighty ocean, I pray that the rivers of my desires, meandering through many deserts of difficulties, may merge at last in Thee. I will conflagrate all space and roll over its bosom, unburnt and deathless. I will dive into infinity, never reaching the end. I will run and race and spread my laughter in all things and all motion in the motionless void. Awaken me, O Heavenly Father, that I may arise from the confining tomb of flesh into the consciousness of my cosmic body. O immortal love, unite my love with Thy love. Unite my life with Thy joy, and my mind with Thy cosmic consciousness. Let me behold naught but beauty, naught but good, naught but truth, naught but Thine immortal fountain of bliss. In the hall of creation, O Divine Mother, Everywhere I hear the rhythm of thy footsteps, dancing wildly in the booming thunder and softly in the song of atoms. Okay, that's it. There's more, but so do you want to hear it? This is called The Explanation of Alm in Christ Consciousness. Huh?
I would rather not.
Yeah. Well, anyways, that's my free 60-second consciousness hypnosis expansion.
It just sounds like me reading the Bible to me.
I know. It's very true.
I liked it.
Thank you.
Well,
Thank you.
yeah, I mean, it's just like the great I am. I mean, that's just God, and God is omnipresent and omniscient. So, I mean, it literally reads just like the Bible.
Well, I think this is why essentially the Jews are not committing genocide because they know that within all the people they've had to kill in order to kill the terrorists, they know that they're killing God every time they kill someone. So it's a horrible, thing to do to kill other people when you realize that everyone is imbued with the divine spirit of life. So,
Yeah, we're all made in His image. I know.
right,
That's why I would never commit suicide.
right. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. There you have it.
Anyways, I am back on Clown House, and this room is being live streamed. It's called Metaphysical Meditation Paramahanda Yogananda.
Well, if
there you go.
you ever see that Bach Innovation pops back out, let me know because they still have me down on
I saw your face yesterday, and I was like, "Fucking Brian's back on," and then I look, and guess who's using your PTR?
Who?
Oscar.
Oscar the Grant.
Oscar in Baltimore or
Yeah,
wherever the
Oscar
fuck it
Grant.
is.
Oscar Grant, basically, essentially.
Yeah, Jazzy and all them. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're probably the ones that took me. They're probably the ones that reported me for something. I didn't even do anything. I literally went to fell asleep listening to the fucking Clown House.
Did you say that you didn't do nothing?
I didn't do nothing.
Right, basically.
Yeah, I'm not even black. But
Didn't do
but
nothing.
I was literally sleeping, and I woke up, and my account was suspended for me sleeping. So I don't know what the fuck happened. They just probably think they're being slick. So. Anywho, well, thanks for calling, John. I'm literally about to head out of here, and like I said the other day, being off a Clown House has set me free. So I've been getting a bunch of shit done.
So you were live on YouTube yesterday. You saw me come in as Adrian Dittman, right?
Yeah, you were wearing a funky paisley flower thing.
No, I never went on shared screen with you.
No, I didn't go in. No, I was just watching your live.
Oh, I see.
You were just listening to stuff, and you were wearing. It looked like a kind of like a tie dye looking sweater shirt, but it wasn't just tie dye. It was like flowers and shit.
Yeah. Yep, that's me. Okay, well, Zach, anyways, just wanted to call you guys, say hello, and share that with you. I was enjoying the book this morning, reading it. So
I appreciate that.
If you search on Clubhouse and you see where it says my name back again, when you search for my name, let me know and then I'll log back in. But
so the reason why I got this book is because I was listening to this guy on YouTube called Maharishi, and he was the guy that traveled with the Beatles. And he started what's called TM or Transcendental Meditation. And this is what Tulsi Gabbard is. They are claiming that she's in a cult. And what I just read to you is literature that Tulsi Gabbard is into as a practicing Hindu and meditationalist. So,
Well, as a veteran, I think she can do whatever the fuck she wants. I gotta go.
Okay, bye, guys.
Program, they all have completed complained about his medicine, like the medicines coming from there, not working for them. So, yeah.
Oh,
That's
that's
good.
good to know.
That's
Because
gonna happen. Oh, sorry, go ahead, Doctor.
we can police that if it's here, you know. Even if they come from India and they don't work, they'll be found out eventually. But you know, it's just people need to know this, and the way is more congressional oversight over, you know, waste, fraud, and abuse.
I want to jump in.
And,
Sorry, go ahead.
no, I'm. This is my rant.
I was going to say this is definitely a topic that gets me going. Like I have young kids, and we are as taxpayers right now. Like it's all connected, right? The entire birth to death. So we right now, our tax dollars are paying for a school breakfast and lunch program. That sounds great. Like that's a good thing. But again, you start to look at the details. So at my kids' school district, the breakfast that's provided is things like powdered donuts and juice. So it's just a ton of sugar,
Exactly.
complete garbage. So we're paying to start that lifelong path of sickness. And that gets real expensive the longer you live.
And so this is where somebody like, if RFK's really like, if he's really going to go out and fight this battle, and he really wants to go take on big food and big pharma, and he's legitimate in that concern, that's a great conversation to have with the Department of Education. So whoever Trump ends up nominating as his DOE head, they could sit down and have a conversation about the free and reduced lunch program and breakfast program, and talk about reducing the amount of processed sugars in free and reduced breakfasts and lunches across the country. That's a good place to start. The other thing that I think should be brought up here, this larger issue of outsourcing generic manufacturing. If Trump really does want to do things like reindustrialize the United States and wants to utilize the tariff mechanism to get people to buy American, one of the things they should be considering then is taking that tariff revenue and dropping it into, having conversations with companies like Moderna about reshoring generic manufacturing for medical devices and generic drugs back to the United States. I know when I buy boxes of bandages for my family, half of them are made in Brazil and the other half are made in China. Like, why in the living hell has this been outsourced overseas other than just baseline sort of, I guess, economic cost at this point? So there are mechanisms that if he really wants to fall on his sword and he really wants to be the sort of transformative president he's talked about, there are ways to do it. And I think this is a good place to start. It's, if he actually does it, I think remains to be seen.
If you're going to tackle the school, like we'll just say the school meal plans, Michelle Obama tried this, and this was discussed in another room, and they just missed the entire point. Some people have this misconception about what organic is. It's not necessarily what most people think, and there's ways around and being able to obtain the organic label. There's a lot of loopholes. There's runoffs that occur. There's a whole thing. We could spend an entire time, and there's a great room held by Chess, the Ag Report. They do it daily. Go listen to those guys. They're fantastic. They're men and women who work in the ag business, and they can tell you all the problems they face and what you're really seeing on your shelves. And they just want to grow healthy food for Americans.
Can I just say, Brad, egg discussion is the house.
Egg discussion. Oh, and one of them is on stage. This man is a wonderful guy. He is from the heartland of America, and he is one of those individuals that's in that room discussing about the regulations, the impositions, even the subsidies that go into the ag community, and how they see, solutions to what they're receiving. But if you're going to tackle this, Michelle Obama tried this problem, and her problem is that she wanted to mandate schools do this. There was no carve out for expenses because there's Paul? There's 3 or 4, maybe 5, or Brian, you may know this too, 3 or 4 groups that actually supply the majority of your schools with their food. There's not a host or a plethora of people there. Personally, I think what would be a great educational opportunity for our children and it's something I experienced in Europe, as well as in a couple other nations, was that they actually had local farmers bring in produce. They'd substitute stuff with the grocery stores or some other groups that came in. But they actually had, as part of their curriculum, cooking classes, how to make their lunches, how to prepare it, what to look for, how to identify fresh fruits and vegetables, etc. Go down the list. Proper precautions in cooking things. These are life skills that you're going to need when you go out in the world. And it helps develop and create some, kind of culinary experts that come out of there. This is why France is known as the best culinary, because they start their kids young, teaching them about what good food is. And they get rid of a lot of things. This is something that can be done, particularly in rural communities, and allow them to help. But the problem with Michelle's program is she mandated it, and still they had to get their food from these few companies. And those companies hiked up the prices, which then these rural schools who are already at their spending limit were sitting there going, we can't afford this. We just, it's a great idea. The kids aren't eating it. You need a cultural shift, not just a mandate, but you need to help, get parents and kids on board with eating healthy. And, you're mandating this, and we can't afford to give you the kids all this stuff because these are the companies we're allocated to buying from, and you don't give us any other carve out in our states to go ahead and utilize any of the free market abilities or even go to the farmers directly. You're just locking us in this, and these guys get to hike up the rate, and now we're spending all this money on these free meals for kids, which isn't really free, and the taxpayer is going through, and the school board's asking for more money, and everybody complains. So that's the problem with Obama's plan, and we're talking about the same thing. If you're going to do it, I think there are some other nations that do have some ideas of some things that can work well. It's not going to work well for every school, but I think some schools in the country, it could help. At least it's a step. And if we can fix a few, all right, that solves that few. Let's start working on the others and come up with other solutions. A one size fits all is probably not the best approach for America. But Brian, I'm glad you're here. You can tell me more.
I just really quick. I was jump in, Brad. That completely resonated with me. My school district, like the food service director, he's trying to do a great job, but he literally is facing the stuff you were describing. So it's real, at least for this district. And then quickly, the last thing I'll add is, like you were saying, you can bitch and moan on Clubhouse, but we're trying to do what we can locally in this district. At the end of the day, it's like focus on what you can change and, change the things at the federal level as an individual person. That's, you don't really have much power there, but you have power locally. So.
Brian, you can park the John Deere for at least 5 minutes and give us your little take.
I can't, but hopefully the voice isolation's canceling out the skid steer bangs and clangs. It's the biggest thing about all this is we can have all these great regulations and whatnot, and the problem with farmers being able to give directly to schools is it's not USDA certified food that's clean or whatever, and it's the extra regulatory for a farmer to donate something that has to go through a USDA verified, whether it's meat or produce or dairy, to get to the school. So there's just so much overburdensome regulation. Regulation isn't bad inherently, but the overburdensome regulation is. And that's the biggest thing that we're fighting right now in agriculture is everybody wants the safest food in the world, but yet they want to pay some foreign country to ship it in. So there's a lot going on with it, and we talked about a bunch of stuff. We talked about the food bill, which is more commonly recognized in Congress as the farm bill. And I say that kind of tongue-in-cheek because it's more SNAP and school meal benefits in the farm bill than there is anything to do with the money that goes to the farm and USDA and all that stuff. So it'll be interesting to see what happens here. Still waiting for the Secretary of Ag to be picked, unless he was while I was in my little hospital. But I'm gonna keep cleaning pens because I gotta sort some good fat Wagyu beef.
I just have a quick question for you, if you have 1 second. For you, the tariffs, is that something, like, do you see that affecting agriculture? Like, how are the tariffs going to mix in with that?
Well, the tariffs were starting to make a change until Biden decided to drop all the stuff Trump had went through to try and get better market prices, and we're starting over from square one again. USMCA, when that was passed a few years ago, with especially Mexico and Canada, is something that really is effective to us, where a bulk of our trading goes across those two borders. So as far as the tariffs go, yeah, it can cause some issues. We have some trade agreements. The biggest thing is we get a lot of our fertilizer from Canada and some from Mexico to help grow, whether it's row crops or produce. So that's where the hard part comes, is being able to trade freely, that we have the nutrition put on the fields, because as farmers and other entrepreneurs who are a victim of our own making, we became so effective, we have quote unquote a surplus of goods that people aren't willing to pay, the 50-60% of their income like they used to, and people complain when they got to pay 20% of their income, and have a lot of I can't think of the word right now, but disposable income. And it's just interesting to go through some of those facts, and I'll leave it there. But there's a lot of farmers doing what's right, and they're overshadowed by the one bad apple here or there, just like every industry.
Well, and I think one of the challenges too is that the United States in general has an unfortunate culture now of fast food and, sort of faster living, I guess. Most people, at the end of the day, they don't want to go home and spend 45 minutes or an hour making dinner. I'm one of the weirdos that, I will go to people like Brian, in the summer up here in Alaska, we have a bunch of, farm stands. I go buy from the farmers because it's better stuff than I pick up in a grocery store, and I like to cook dinner every day when I can, because I know it's going into my meals. But most people don't. Most people don't have an hour and a half at the end of the day to do it, so they go to a fast food joint or they buy pre-processed stuff from the store. A lot of it's pumped up with fillers and additives and shelf stabilizers and chemicals, and you end up with kind of a obese or unhealthy population, and that's what we're dealing with right now. So I think it's going to take a cultural change. One president can't do it. One Congress can't do it. This is a generational shift that happened 30, 40 years ago, and it's probably going to take the same amount of time to get Americans back to where we were in the 70s and 80s when this trend started. I think you can start to engineer the changes. You can work with the local departments of education. You can work with school boards. You can work with people like Brian to get fresh fruits and vegetables into the elementary schools and into the middle and high schools. Like Brad mentioned, cooking classes. I took cooking classes in high school, but that was an elective. Nobody was made to take those things.
O divine shepherd of infinite perception, rescue the lambskins of my thoughts, lost in the wilderness of restlessness.
This is your friend Joy.
And lead them into thy fold of silence. Beloved Father, let the embers of my devotion
relative,
glow
right?
thy
I think about that
presence
backwards.
evermore.
Every time it's a discount, it'll be an all-time. It'll be higher than the dollar all-time high. But it never really goes off that far. It's like I haven't looked at Tether in ages, but it always seems to be pretty fucking close to a dollar.
Yeah, it's also the temple of the skies, the temple of nature, and in the soul temples of human brothers. I worship God everywhere. Bow to the infinite Father, differently manifesting in the many churches and temples that have all been erected in his honor. I worship the one God resting on the various altars of different teachings and religious faiths. Today I will worship God in deep silence and wait to hear his answer through my increasing peace of meditation. I will mingle my inner devotional whispers with prayers of all saints. Continuously offer them in the temples of silence and activity until I can hear his whispers loudly everywhere. This day shall be the best day of my life. Today I will start with a new determination to dedicate my devotion forever at the feet of omnipresence, expanding love. Meditate, dwell on, and feel this. My kingdom of love shall expand. I have loved my body more than anything else. That is why I am identified with it. With the love that I have given to the body, I will love all those who love me. With the expanded love of those who love me, I will love those who are mine. With the love for myself and the love for my own, I will love those who are strangers. I will use all my love to love those who do not love me, as well as those who love me. It will bathe all souls in my unselfish love, in the sea of my love. My family members, my countrymen, all nations and all beings will swim. All creation, all the myriads of tiny living things will dance on the waves of my love. I saturate myself with the perfume of thy presence, and I wait to waft, to breeze the aroma of thy message of love to all. Temple of my earthly mother's love, I will worship the incarnated love of the Divine Mother. All desire for love I will purify and satisfy in sacred divine love for thee, O God, beloved infinite.
So removing an income tax, social security tax, and Medicare tax, replacing it with a federal sales tax, to me seems like probably the most possible thing that we could substitute it with. The tariff thing, though, I don't think it's a great way to fund government. I believe in free markets. I think it's going to cause distortions. But I also wonder who canceled their flight. Was the tariff conversation?
For everything, so I can respect
The immigrants. I'd rather.
I didn't really hear what it is. I can make him about
It is the most practical science of race, creed, color, countries, and races. Bound by eternal being, spiritually one, physically one, because we are the descendants of common parents, the symbolic Adam and Eve, and spiritually one because we are the immortal children of our Father, bound by eternal links of brotherhood. Let us pray in our hearts for the League of Souls and the united world, though we may seem divided by race, creed, color, class, and political prejudices. Still, as children of the one God, we are able in our souls to feel brotherhood and world unity. May we work for the creation of a united world in which every nation will be a useful part, guided by God through man's enlightened conscience. In our hearts, we can all learn to be free from hate and selfishness. Let us pray for harmony among the nations, that they march hand in hand through the gate of a fair, new civilization. Forward. Meditation is the science of God realization. It is the most practical science in the world. Most people would want to meditate if they understood its value and experienced its beneficial effects. The ultimate object of meditation is to attain conscious awareness of God and of the soul's eternal oneness with Him. What achievement could be more purposeful and useful than to harness limited human faculties to the omnipresence and omnipotence of the Creator? God realization bestows on the meditator the blessings of the Lord's peace, love, joy, power, wisdom. Meditation utilizes concentration in its highest form. Concentration consists in freeing the attention from distractions and in focusing it on any thought in which one may be interested. Meditation is that special form of concentration in which the attention has been liberated from restlessness and is focused on God. Meditation, therefore, is concentration used to know God. In response to the love of great devotees, God has manifested Himself in various cosmic forms. He also manifests Himself in truth, in divine qualities, in the creative power and beauty in nature, in the lives of great saints and avatars, divine incarnations, and in the soul of every man. Thus, meditation on any of these concepts brings a deep realization of the omnipresent absolute, of Him who is ever existing, ever conscious, ever new bliss. And because meditation gives direct perception of God, it raises the practice of religion above the differences of dogma. Complete instruction in the theory and practice of scientific meditation techniques is given in the Self-Realization Fellowship lessons. These lessons are available to all sincere seekers of truth. For more information, write Self-Realization Fellowship, 3880 San Rafael, Los Angeles, California, 90065. Metaphysical Meditations offers meditations of 3 types: prayers or loving demands addressed to God, affirmations about God or truth, and spiritual guidance and inspiration to be directed to one's own consciousness. Select a meditation that meets your present need. To help focus your mind on the spiritual thought, practice the following meditation instructions. Sit on a straight chair or in a cross-legged position on a firm surface. Keep the spine straight and chin parallel to the floor with eyes closed. Gently focus your gaze. Concentrate your attention at the point between your eyebrows. This is the seat of concentration and the spiritual eye, or divine perception in man. With the attention fixed at this center of calmness and concentration, practice the meditation you have chosen. Audibly or mentally repeat the words slowly, concentrating on them intently until you become absorbed in the inner meaning. Meditate until you feel that the concept on which you are meditating has become a part of your own consciousness. The first proof of God's presence is an ineffable peace. This evolves into joy, humanely inconceivable. Once you have touched the source of truth and life, all nature will respond to. Finding God within, you will find him without, in all people and all conditions. Contents: Prayer for a United World. Forward: If you want his answer. Poem: Devotion and Worship, Meditations on God, Expansion of Consciousness, on Finding God, on Material Concerns, on Self-Improvement. Christmas Meditations. This is called If You Want His Answer by Paramahansa Yogananda. Whether he replies or not, keep calling him. Ever calling in the chamber of continuous prayer, whether he comes or not, believe he is ever approaching, nearer to you, with each command of your heart's love. Whether he answers or not, keep entreating him, even if he makes no reply in the way you expect. Ever know that in some subtle way he will respond. In the darkness of your deepest prayers, know that with you he is playing hide and seek. And in the midst of the dance of life, disease and death, if you keep calling him, undepressed by his seeming silence, you will receive his answer. Devotion and worship. To begin a meditation, lock the eyelid doors and shut out the wild dance of tempting scenes. Drop your mind into the bottomless well of your heart. Hold the mind on your heart that is bubbling with life-giving blood. Keep your attention tied to the heart until you feel its rhythmic beat. With every heartbeat, feel the pulse of almighty life. And picture the same all-pervading life knocking at the heart door of millions of human beings and of billions of other creatures. The heart throb constantly, meekly announces the presence of infinite power behind the doors of your awareness. The gentle beat of all-pervading life says to you silently, do not receive only a little flow of my life, but expand the opening of thy feeling powers. Let me flood thy blood, body, mind, feelings, and soul with my throbs of universal life. To awaken mental freedom, sit still with a straight spine. Cover up your fidgety eyeballs with the sheets of your eyelids, hold them still. Then loosen your mind from the consciousness of body weight. Relax the nerve strings that are attached to the heavy muscles and bones of your body. Forget the consciousness of carrying a heavy bundle of bones tied in the thick cloth of flesh. Rest. Free your mind from the consciousness of a beast of burden Do not think of your body load, but feel your soul untied from the constant material quality of heaviness. Mentally race in your fancy's airplane above, beneath, left, right, and infinity, wherever you want to go. Feel and meditate on this, your mental freedom from your body. Dream, dwell, and feel this body aboveness when sitting still. The consciousness of freedom will constantly increase. Universal prayer. Okay, hope you're enjoying this brief reading. Cheers. L'chaim and Mazel Tov. Alright, it's just orange juice with a little bit of beer. Universal prayer. May thy love shine forever on the sanctuary of my devotion, and may I be able to awaken thy love in all hearts. O Father, receive thou the fervor of my soul, the devotion of incarnations, the love of ages that I have kept locked in the vault of my heart, divine Father. In my temple of silence, I have made a garden for thee, decorated with the blossoms of my devotion. With aspiring heart, with zealous mind, with flaming soul, I lay at thy feet of omnipresence all the flowers of my devotion, O Spirit. I worship thee as beauty and intelligence in the temple of nature. I worship thee as power in the temple of activity, and as peace in the temple of silence. I will wait for thee in the center of my heart. I have a mystic throne for thee. The candles of my joys are dimly lighted in the hope of thy coming. They will burn brighter when thou appearest. Whether thou comest or not, I will wait for thee until my tears melt away all material grossness. To please thee, my love, perfumed tears will wash thy feet of silence. The altar of my soul will be kept empty until thou comest. I will talk not. I will ask not of thee. I will realize that thou knowest the pains of my heart while I wait for thee. Thou dost know that I am praying. Thou dost know that I love no other. Yet whether thou dost come to me or not, I will wait for thee, though it be for eternity. I will drive away all despondency in order to make a mighty effort to feel God by meditation, until he finally appears. My offering to thee. Each morning I offer my body, my mind, and any ability that I possess to be used by thee, O infinite Creator, in whatever way thou dost choose to express thyself through me. I know that all work is thy work, and that no task is too difficult or too menial when offered to thee in loving service. Divine Mother, with the language of my soul, I demand realization of thy presence. Thou art the essence of everything. Make me see thee in every fiber of my being, in every wisp of thought awake in my heart. Beloved Father, my wordless chants of yearning for thee will sing in cadence with my heart throbs. I shall feel thy presence in all hearts. I shall watch thy hands working in the law of gravitation and in all other natural forces, in the tread of all living creatures. I shall hear thy footsteps. The unseen charmer of souls, thou art the fountain flowing from the bosom of friendship. Thou art the rays of secret warmth that unfold buds of feeling into blossoms of endearing, soulful words of poetry and loyalty. As I radiate sympathy and goodwill to others, I open the channel for God's love to come to me. Divine love is the magnet that attracts all blessedness. Father, enter thou into my soul through the portals of my heart's devotion and through my ardent prayers. I will not become too much attached to things, as this will cause me to forget God. We lose possessions, not as a punishment, but as a test to see if we love material things more than the infinite Lord. I obey thee in the temple of discipline. I love thee in the temple of devotion. I worship thee in the temple of my love. I touch thy feet in the temple of stillness. I behold thine eyes in the temple of delight. I feel thee in the temple of emotion. I fight for thee in the temple of activity. I enjoy thee in the temple of peace. I will rise with the dawn and rouse my sleeping love to waken in the light of true devotion for the peace God within. Heavenly Father, in an invisible church built of devotion granite, receive thou my humble heart offerings, daily renewed by prayer. Divine Mother, open wide the bud of my devotion and release its fragrance, that it may spread from my soul to the souls of all others, ever whispering of thee. I have heard thy voice, Divine Mother, I have heard thy voice whispering in the fragrance of the rose. I touched thy tenderness in the softness of the lily, in the whispers of my devotion. It was thy love that answered. Christ is risen from the sepulchre of my indifference, and I behold him in the light of my devotion. I, a sleeping Son of God, am coming out of my bodily prison into the vast freedom of spirit, undying devotion. O thou great lover, thou art life, thou art the goal, thou art my desire. Deliver me from thy maya, delusion, the delusive veil of creation whose multiplicity of forms hides the one formless verity. Tempt me with thy presence instead, beloved Lord. Fill my heart with undying devotion to thee alone. My well of silence. His laughter caught my heart. His joy invaded my sorrowful heart as I swung in a hammock beneath the pines under the blue. I felt the sky astir and his presence moving through me. My body became still. My power of silence dug into my bosom until a bottomless well sprang up. The bubbling waters of my well clamored and cold and thirsty things around me to come and drink of my inspirations. Suddenly, the vast blue plunged its blue lips into the well of my heart. The pines, the sailing clouds, the mountains, earth, and the planets put their mouths into my well of bliss. All things in creation drank of me, and satisfied they plunged into the waters of my immortality. Their gross bodies touched the transmuting pool of my soul and became purified and luminous, just as grains of sugar dissolve in a pot of sparkling water. So the cloudlets, tall hills, scenic beauties, stars, lakes, worlds, brooklets of laughing minds, long winding rivers of ambitions of all creatures traveling along many trails of incarnations, all melted in the ocean of my all-dissolving silence. my devotion. O divine shepherd of infinite perception, rescue the lambskins of my thoughts, lost in the wilderness of restlessness, and lead them into thy fold of silence. Beloved Father, let the embers of my devotion glow with thy presence evermore. Beloved God, pluck the lotus of my devotion from the mire of earthly forgetfulness and wear it on thy breast of ever-wake memory. I bow to thee, O God, the temple of the skies, the temple of nature, and in the soul temples of human brothers. I worship God everywhere. I bow to the infinite Father, differently manifesting in the many churches and temples that have all been erected in his honor. I worship the one God resting on the various altars of different teachings and religious faiths. Today I will worship God in deep silence and wait to hear his answer through my increasing peace of meditation. I will mingle my inner devotional whispers with the prayers of all saints and continuously offer them in the temples of silence and activity until I can hear his whispers loudly everywhere. This day shall be the best day of my life. Today I will start with a new determination to dedicate my devotion forever at the feet of omnipresence, expanding love. Meditate, dwell on, and feel this. My kingdom of love shall expand. I have loved my body more than anything else. That is why I am identified with and limited by it. With the love that I have given to the body, I will love all those who love me. With the expanded love of those who love me, I will love those who are mine. With the love for myself and the love for my own, I will love those who are strangers. I will use all my love to love those who do not love me, as well as those who love me. I will bathe all souls in my unselfish love, in the sea of my love. My family members, my countrymen, all nations and all beings will swim. All creation, all the myriads of tiny living things will dance on the waves of my love. I saturate myself with the perfume of thy presence, and I wait to waft, to breeze, the aroma of thy message of love to all. In the temple of my earthly mother's love, I will worship the incarnated love of the Divine Mother. All desire for love I will purify and satisfy in sacred divine love for thee, O God. Beloved infinite, I will keep thee ever imprisoned behind the strong walls of my undying love. Whether or not thou answerest my demands and prayers, I shall go on loving thee. O Father, teach me to vivify my prayers with thy love. May I realize thy nearness behind the voice of my prayer. I know that just behind the screen of my love demands, thou art listening to the silent words of my soul. I will behold God himself bestowing on me his divine love through the hearts of all. Naughty or good, I am thy child. Sinner or saint, I am thine own. Teach me to drink the everlasting nectar of joy found in the fountain of meditation. Divine Father, teach me to worship thee on the altar of silence within and on the altar of activity without. Beloved God, purify the dross in me, banish disease and poverty from the world evermore, banish ignorance of thee from the shores of men's souls. Okay, this is Metaphysical Meditations by Paramahansa Yogananda.
Bunch of like farm stands. I go buy from the farmers because it's better stuff than I pick up at a grocery store, and I like to cook dinner every day when I can because I know the skies. The cultural change. I want perception. I'm backwards. You know, every time it's a discount, it'll lead all that.
Twitter space. Let's get Twitter space ever. December 10th. Or giving y'all all the sauce in Twitter spacing. Fuck this shit. I told Chris Bennett. I said, Chris Bennett, we going, nigga, we going back to Clubhouse. It was gatekeeping these black folks. The Malleys and the Arts. They didn't respect us then. The first Grammy room, Twirly, was your sister, middle child. Ask fucking show Virgo that. The first Twitter space, the Grammy space, was Virgo. That's a fact. 800 people in that room. What is Mallory talking about? She wasn't no fucking around. She was on Clubhouse, dick sucking, in a business room. What is she talking about? Man, y'all gotta stop playing with me on these platforms. Man, my account doesn't say it's June 2008 for nothing. Like, go listen to these goofballs. Who she talking about? Dillinger, Unconfined, but man, I don't give a fuck about no, what? 700,000. Boy, I can go buy 1 million followers. Rhea. They playing games like we can't go buy. What? Okay, you know what? I got what? I got 50 something dollars. What? I'm just talking. Okay, so I'm gonna go buy me. I can go do what they doing. Yeah, I can go buy me followers. Why y'all buying followers? How the fuck you got 700,000 followers, nigga, but you can't get 30 people in the room? Boy, don't talk to me. How many people in here? 96. But they all hate. How the fuck you got 700,000 followers? But nigga, you only got 30 people in the room. Boy, stop. See, Freddie, that's why I was trying to tell you when you got back to Twitter. These, for the most part, they'll sit up under you. Get a little confidence.
I was invited to the...
Go ahead, Nally. Since you booked your 1 million followers, I know you paid.
The great party.
He's using his toenail.
Great. Then you go, Daddy.
I can't relax, you know? And the other night I was in a place I felt like having a few drinks. Someone over to the bartender and said, surprise me. He showed me a naked picture of my wife. Hey, the truth, and my wife and I, we never have sex. Now, we get undressed, we can't stop laughing. You know? I got no sex life. 10 years ago, my wife put me on hold. My old man, he didn't help at all, my old man. We used to play tag and he'd drive. I mean, it's not easy being me. When I was born, the doctor told my mother I did all I could, but he pulled through anyway. I mean, nobody was nice. My mother never breastfed me. She told me she liked me as a friend. So when I was born, after the doctor cut the cord, he hung himself. And I'll tell you, I can't relax, you know? My dog drives me nuts. My dog. He wants me to mate him. I wouldn't mate him. Let him go through what I go through. I mean, last week was rough. Are you kidding? Last week I looked up my family tree. 2 dogs were using it. I'll tell you, my wife isn't too smart, you know. One night she went out, some guy stole the car. I took her to see what he looked like. She told me she got the license plate number. Oh, my wife. Oh, one night she told me she felt romantic. I took her to a drive-in movie. I spent the whole night trying to find out what car she was in. This afternoon, my wife cracked up the car again. I was out driving her. She told me she would make a U-turn. I'll tell you, the letter she made. You'll never find any out there. Well, he's a strange doctor. Hey, you kidding? I asked him if my heart was strong enough for sex. He told me not if I'd join in, you know? I'll tell you, my look at the wrong doctor. You know my doctor, Dr. Vinny Goombach. Know my doctor? Oh, the doctor. I called him last week. I told him, Doc, I swallowed a bottle of sleeping pills. He told me to have a few drinks and get some rest.
Life's not easy.
Not easy. You can't trust doctors either. They're all mixed up. You
really think so, huh?
My proctologist used to be a photographer.
Yeah.
Hey, he took x-rays, told me to bend over and say cheese. I said, oh, Johnny. I told my wife I want to die in bed. She said, again? I mean, I'm getting old. I'm not a kid anymore. I know I'm getting old. In Vegas, I played a slot machine. 3 prunes came up. I know I'm getting old. I'm at the age now, if I hear someone goes both ways, I figure it's number 1 and number 2, you know? I tell you, I don't get a break with nothing. I joined Gamblers Anonymous. They gave me 2 to 1, I don't make it. Oh, boy, the other night in Las Vegas, I tell you, I got loaded on what I'm doing. I played dice, I lost $1,000. I got even, though. I stole 400 sweet and lows. This afternoon, my wife started in again. Yeah, she keeps throwing up when I work in Las Vegas. I went broke playing the slot machines, you know? I'll tell you, Las Vegas, I got slot machines all over, even in supermarkets. I went in to buy a container of milk, cost me $238. My old man, he didn't help either. The time I was kidnapped, they sent back a piece of my finger. He said he wanted more proof. Hey, you kid, I know I'm ugly. I stuck my head out the window, got arrested for mooning. I know I'm ugly. I went to a freak show. They let me in for nothing. I was an ugly kid, too. How ugly? I was so ugly, my mother breastfed me through a straw. Oh, yeah, my wife can't do nothing right. She can't cook, the worst cook in the world. Gave my kid alphabet soup. He spelled out help. Well, I was
lousy cook. I mean, how can toast have bones? She's a lousy cook, too. She can't cook at all. I leave down the floors in the kitchen, the roaches hang themselves. I live in New York on the west side, you know. Rough neighborhood, rough. I'll tell you, I live in the only neighborhood when I plan my budget, I allow for hold-up money. What a neighborhood. Well, the first day I moved in, I asked the cop, I said, how long I walk to the subway? He said, I don't know. So far, no one ever made it. No, it's a rough building, I tell you, rather, nothing but every night there's robberies, forget about it. Nothing but robberies in my apartment building, you know? I mean, every time I close a window, I hit somebody's hands. I tell you, folks, with me, nothing comes easy. You know, I can't lose any weight. I tried jogging. I keep running into restaurants. I was so fat when I got my shoes shine, I had to take the guy's word for it. I mean, I was fat. Doctors say all kinds of exercise is great. You burn up energy, you lose calories. I mean, in fact, doctors say when a man makes love to a woman, he burns up energy, he loses 150 calories. I made love to a girl once and lost even more. I lost 150 calories, my watch, and my wallet. I mean, the last time I made love to my wife, it was ridiculous. Nothing was happening. I looked at her, I said, what's the matter? Can't you think of anyone either? Now, you kid, I know my wife cheats on me. Every time I come home, the parrot says, quick, out the window, you know? My sex life is nothing. My wife cut me out to once a month. Cut me down to once a month. Oh, I'm lucky. 2 guys, she cut out completely. My old man, he didn't help either. Kept taking me to the zoo. He said he was hoping my real parents would claim me. And my kids, they don't help either. The other day I told my kid, I said, someday you'll have children of your own. He said, so will you.
This is Michael. He makes $15,000 per month from YouTube without having to show his face, script, or create any of the videos himself, which allowed him to replace the income he was making by working 12-hour days in a kitchen. So how is that possible? Simple. Let me show you. My name is Razvan Parashiv and I'm the founder of Grow Channels. We help regular people create an additional stream of income on YouTube without making any of the videos themselves. And we've helped hundreds of people do this, like Michael, who's making $15,000 a month, Addie, who's making $35,000 a month, or David, who made $12,000 in his first 45 days, and like so many other people that I don't have time right now to tell you about. And the best part is that they were able to do all this only while working a handful of hours per week on their channel. So no matter what they were doing, whether they are at home, spending time with their families, or grabbing dinner with some friends, or going on a road trip, their videos were getting views every single day, making them money. And the best part is, with our system, that it doesn't matter if you are good looking or not, funny or not, or knowledgeable or not, because you'll never have to appear in any of the videos. And despite my thing, you also don't need millions of views to generate a decent amount of money that will allow you to supplement or even replace your 9-to-5 income. In fact, this channel here makes around $10,000 per month with only 600,000 views. I recorded a short training that shows you my 3-step playbook on how to start cash flowing YouTube channels in record time. So if you want to discover how you can do the same, hit the link below to check it out. Imagine being able to supplement your income so you can reach your financial goals faster. Imagine being able to replace your 9-to-5 income and be your own boss. And imagine waking up with not a worry in the world, being in complete control what you want to do that day and the next one and the next one. That reality is just one click away, so don't wait, click the button down below and watch the short training. And if you don't have time right now, at least open it up and bookmark it for later whenever you have a couple of minutes, because who knows whenever you are going to see this training ever again. So click or tap the link below to get instant access to the training right now. I'll see you there.
See you there, my friend. Muchas gracias.
Restaurant store.
30 chairs, non-squeak.
Restaurant store.
15 non-wobbly tables.
Real smart kid I got. The other day I told him about the birds and the bees. He told me about my wife and the butcher. I tell you, I can't relax. My kid drives me nuts. The other day I told him, I said, you're young, you don't have it upstairs. He told me I'm old, I don't have it downstairs. And this girl was no bargain either. She was fat.
Fat, huh?
How fat? When she wears high heels, she strikes oil. Okay, she's fat. She was fat.
Fat as a big girl.
Remember how we met? I hit her with my car. She said me once go around me. I told her I didn't think I had enough gas.
Big girl.
Oh, I met her at the Macy's parade. She was wearing ropes. I always wondered how my wife got her license the first time she took the test. I found out the inspector said he wouldn't go through that again. The last time my wife drove the car, she cracked it up, went into a tree. She told me it wasn't her fault. She blew the horn. I mean, you My mother had morning sickness after I was born. Oh, it's not easy. I got no respect the day I was born.
Really?
No respect. The doctor picked me up and smacked me. I found out the nurse, she got a few in too. Now, with gambling, I'm never lucky. Well, last week at a track, they shot off the opening gun and they killed my horse. I mean, I'm getting old. I'm not a kid anymore. I know I'm getting old. In Vegas, I played a slot machine. 3 prunes came up. I mean, people look at me, they figure I'm the type of guy I get drunk and go to the track, right? They're wrong. I get high first. I get drunk and go to the track. My old man, he didn't like my looks either. But he carried around a picture of the kid who came with the wallet. I mean, are you kidding? My old man never liked me. When he took me hunting, he gave me a 3-minute head start. And on the way home, he tied me to the fender, put the deer in the car. I'm not a kid. I'm getting older, Johnny. I'm getting old. Are you kidding? I took a vacation, went to Mexico. I got the walks. No, you kidding? My age, to me, the daily double is prune juice and an enema. My last birthday cake, I couldn't blow out the candles. The heat drove me back. I'm ugly, I'm telling you. My proctologist, he stuck his finger in my mouth. This girl was fat and ugly. Ooh, was she ugly?
Ugly.
How ugly? I took her to the beach. They asked me what I used for bait. When I took her home, my mother put newspapers on the floor. I mean, ugly. I gave her a hickey. I got fur in my mouth. I tell you, my wife with eating is always a problem. She's a strict vegetarian. In fact, when I met her, she was grazing on the front lawn. I mean, she can't cook at all. She made chocolate mousse and antler got stuck on my throat. I'll tell you one thing, though, when I have sex with my wife, it's like magic. As soon as I get in bed, she disappears. But I'll tell you one thing, when my wife does have sex, she screams. Ooh, especially when I walk in on her. Oh, the other night, she met me at the front door wearing a see-through negligee. The only trouble is she was coming home. Well, I tell you, I can't take it no more. Well, this afternoon, I said to my little girl, I says, when you grow up, what do you want to be? She looked at my wife. She said, single. Well, the other day, I called my house. My boy answered the phone. I said to him, let me talk to Mommy. I heard the kid say, Mommy, it's Daddy. Are you home? I don't get no respect from anyone. Well, last Christmas, my kid wanted a BB gun. I gave him a BB gun. He gave me a sweatshirt with a bullseye in the back. I'll tell you, nice to hear you laugh, though. I'll tell you, that really is nice. Now, because where I live, there's no laughs, you know. I live in a bad neighborhood. Well, just last week, a guy pulled a knife on me. I could see it wasn't a real professional job. There was butter on it. And I'll tell you, Dean, since I live in this neighborhood, I was attacked only once. Just once, you know. It was a strange thing. The guy who attacked me had class. Yeah, he used an electric razor. Actually, I blame myself. I was standing right next to an outlet. Well, this guy let me crazy. He was looking at something. He took my watch, he took my wallet, and he took a little off the sides. My wife, I got no sex life. The dog keeps watching me in the bedroom wants to learn how to beg. I told her to watch my wife and learn how to roll over and play dead. I tell you, it's tough to stay married to my wife. What do you think I feel? She kisses the dog on the lips and she won't drink from my glass. Hey, I'm sorry, I was a little late getting here tonight. You know, my dog, he started trouble again. I mean, I got a dog, he tries to run the whole house. Well, the other night he started trouble. He went over the front door, he started to bark. I went over, I opened the front door. The dog didn't want to go out, he wanted me to leave. I was talking to my doctor. You know my doctor, Dr. Vinny Boombach. You know my doctor? Well, he told me last week in his office he got 6 cases of VD. I mean, he's all right now. And my doctor, he don't help either. He told me to run 5 miles a day for 2 weeks. I called him up. I said, Doc, I'm 70 miles from my house. I'll tell you about trouble. I got the wrong doctor. You know my doctor, Dr. Vinny Boombach. You know my doctor? Oh, that doctor, you kidding me? Oh, that doctor. I called him up. I told him I had diarrhea. He put me on hold. Well, they say when you're driving, you know, watch out.
I can see that.
How old are you?
44.
Yeah, I can see that.
But I went to long time schooling though, and I'm one of those all or none people. Like when I was in school, like that was my priority. And for some weird reason, I did date a couple guys, you know, when I was in school at the beginning, and they, for some weird reason, they wanted turned me into a housewife, and I was like, you know what? Focus on school, screw dating, because I look back and I see a lot of my friends, they found good relationships, they got married, while they were in school, but I did date 2 guys, and one guy even told me, he's like, oh, what's the difference if you're a doctor or a doctor's wife? I was like, oh, God. I'm running for the hills.
We'll catch you. Come run to the hills. I got you.
But I regret it now, hills.
Come on to the hills with a Z.
Did you hear me? I said, now I regret it, though. I should have married for money.
Marry for the money the second time. The first time, work your ass off.
I got a lot of proposals in university, but, I was like, I didn't believe them. So I was like, no, I don't.
That's all hard to believe, Rita.
It's true. I was like, well, there's no ring. This just doesn't feel like an
Wait a minute,
authentic
Rita being
offer.
a cynic? Shut the fuck up. What do you mean that's shocking?
And some of them I was like, I'm not really into you. And so I just kept moving on. But I don't regret it. Some of these guys, not at all.
Guys are making me think of the band Air Supply, and I'm all out of love. I'm so lost without you. Yeah.
Is that what you took from what I said, Jason? I just told you I have not regret being single for a single day.
Well, you also said you needed help finding a pool boy, which both of
Yeah, I'm thinking
that
another
wasn't
song
joke,
for you.
guys. I'm not even attracted to pool boys.
Hold on. Just because she wants a pool boy doesn't mean she's lost out of love. Let's put it there.
No,
You might want some dick. It's not being needing